Welcome to Cinephiles, a movie review channel. Today we're covering the first Mission Impossible 1996 film. I'm joined by my co-host and fiance, Gibson. Hello, Gibson.
What's up, Ez?
So, Gibson, what were your thoughts on the film?
I like mid to late 90s films in the way that I think the cinematography was shot. It had a bit of a darker tone, a little bit more like noir style to it.
Second question, outside of Ethan Hunt, can you name another character?
Yes, a few of them. So, obviously, John Voight. Emilio Estevez makes a fantastic appearance at the beginning of the movie.
In that vein, Emilio Estevez is in the first 15 minutes of the film, and he's actually uncredited in the film in IMDb. I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit why you think that maybe is.
Charlie Sheen, his brother, changed his name. I think Estevez as a last name, but he was Emilio Estevez in all the other films, so I can't imagine him wanting to go uncredited due to his family name, especially because his father's Martin Sheen, so they both changed their name too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really don't know.
The whole Sheen Estevez thing, I think it was very of the time. It's 1996, but I have nothing respect for Emilio for staying true to himself. So the director, and we'll get into him later, thought it would be a good way to kind of shock the audience, because at the time, this was the peak of Emilio Estevez's career. He was well known for the Mighty Ducks role, which had happened, or the two films had happened before 1996. So to kill off a major actor like that in the first 15 minutes. So the director, Brian De Palma, you kind of mentioned in the beginning with your thoughts that it was kind of a film noir film. So I do want to applaud you for being right on the money. Brian De Palma is best known for his work in suspense, crime, and psychological thriller movies. Some of his famous works are Scarface and The Truman Show. I think
Makes
you can
sense.
kind of see that with the film noir aspect. But I wanted to ask if you had a favorite scene.
My favorite scene is the iconic Ethan Hunt hanging from the ceiling, trying to hack into the computer. He has to make sure that they stay under a certain decibel level. He has to make sure his temperature is under 72 degrees or whatever, because if he sweats and that hits the ground, that's going to set off the alarm. And so the suspense of all of that going on, I think that's where they did a really good job, is kind of building that, is he going to get caught? Because there's just so many little details and things that could set it off. You've got his other team member trying to hold him up, and there's stuff going on with that. And then you have the rat scene and the knife. And so there's just so many little pieces to it. And then, of course, you've got the nerdy guy who actually works there, having been drugged.
Yeah.
Not really drugged, but I don't know, what is that? You put eye drops in someone's drink and it makes them shit themselves. And so he's running back and forth to the bathroom and he can't. And so that's what's buying them time. And I just think all of the components tied really, really well into that scene. And it was kind of the penultimate moment of the movie, because that was getting the disc with the list to be able to make the trade and all of that stuff. And so I think, that was probably the biggest scene of the movie in my mind in terms of importance. And so I would say that's why it was, if I had to pick, I think, as cliche as it is to pick the scene that everybody remembers from the movie, there's a reason why. And so that's mine.
I think we did a good job covering the first film.